I just got my ears pierced. Ow! Oh, I've literally just got them pierced and I've already just whacked them. Ow, that did hurt. They're really tender at the minute, and this one, before I just hit it, is kind of throbbing and feels like really hot. This one feels fine. It was kind of a weird experience. I don't know what I was expecting. I got these piercings done when I was like 8. I actually remember getting them just before I was going to a friend's birthday party, and we went into Claire's so that I could buy her a gift before we went over to her party. And I was like, oh mum, can I get a piercing? And for some reason she was like, yeah, why not? Now I realise, don't get piercings at Claire's because most likely they will become infected. But I was 8, I didn't know this at the time, and I don't remember them hurting. I don't really remember a lot of the experience. But I remember I chose yin yang, like earring studs. I was like an alternative child in an alternative family. So of course I got the like yin yang studs, and yeah, that was that. But now I've got the second ones. Been thinking about getting these done for like ages, but I finally had the time to actually go out and get them done. You kind of know what to expect when going into a piercing and tattoo place. Stereotypically, they've got an edge about them. But I walked in and there was like 3 older ladies just chatting. They looked like really normal and they were just like talking about family, holidays and stuff. And I was like, am I in the right place? But then I went to the reception person and I was like, hi, I've got a piercing booked. Am I in the right place? And they were like, yes, Ella, we've got you booked in. And then it was straight into it. I thought that they were going to kind of like sit me down and explain the process. But no, she was just straight in, got the needle, and she was like, are you ready? And because it was so quick, I ended up just saying yeah. I mean, I wasn't really ready, but I didn't want to say that I wasn't ready. And she just went, psh. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it did hurt. But because it's so quick, you can kind of deal with it. The process of doing it was like 5 minutes. I was almost kind of in a state of shock because I'd just been stabbed with 2 needles in my ear. I'm not squeamish or anything. I don't faint, but I just felt a little bit like in shock. And then yeah, I was on my way. Now I have another piercing. Eventually I want to get my helix done. I'm gonna wait until these are fully healed before I get these done. Right, let's go home. Hello, I've just got back from shopping in Truro. So a couple of days ago, my boyfriend came up to me and he was like, okay, I need some new clothes because I'm starting uni soon and I want to get some fresh clothes. You know when you like start something new, like a new job, uni, college, whatever, you kind of want to reinvent yourself and be the most interesting version of yourself. So I went along. So I wasn't really shopping for me, but I did end up buying 2 things which I probably shouldn't have, which was this lovely jumper and this just top here. This past week I was having a bit of a shit week and my mum noticed that I was having a bit of a shit week, so she was like, look, I know a place that you're gonna find amazing, let's just go. We arrived and it was like this little old tin mine or some sort of old mining infrastructure, and there was this like short little walk until we came upon like a little cove, but you couldn't really see into the cove because there was lots of like rocks blocking it. So we ended up walking out onto the peninsula and there was like a whole bunch of like seals and baby seals, and I brought my camera with me and you could see the seals, but unfortunately my camera lens is not built for zooming in on things that are very far away. So I sort of improvised by getting my binoculars and sort of holding it up to the camera lens so that it was zooming into what I wanted it to look at through the binoculars. I know that is very DIY of me, but it sort of worked. I mean, because my hands were really wobbly, the footage is quite shaky, so I actually managed to capture some sort of little story going on here. So we turned up and there was this female and a young pup closer to the sea, and a male came out of the water and started kind of walking up the beach. And because this female and her pup were so close to the water, she obviously didn't want the male to go up to them and potentially harm her child. So she ends up going up to this male very aggressively, and this male was not backing down, he just kept going forward until the female literally went for him and like bit his face. I mean, you can see it in the footage that I'm having up on here. She literally goes for him, and then afterwards he ends up kind of running away a bit defeated. He still stays on the beach, but he ends up staying closer to the water, and through my binoculars I could see that he had a massive gash like under his eye. Nothing life-threatening, but enough where he's learnt his lesson not to go to that female and her pup ever again. And then my camera died.